Welcome, everybody. This is Daniel Diaz, your host of Sound Money Matters. And man, do we have a great show for you today. All our previous episodes have been interviewing people in the future technologies, the markets, and analysts. But today's show, we have a special guest, and we're going to actually dig into multiple things. How do you find the price of gold and silver? Where can you buy gold and silver? And how do you test whether it's real or not? And then where's the best place to sell it? And to help us with answering these questions, we have an amazing guest, Silver Seeker. And
Hi,
Silver, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good, man. Thank you for coming on the show. It's great to have you. And
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
yeah, man. And I don't think there's anybody better to actually do these questions and actually show, because this is what you do for a lot of your episodes, calling local coin shops, talking to bullion dealers. It's great to have you on.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I don't know if I'm the best, but I'll do my best for you. How's that?
That works. That works. So, for you and our audience, our late founder Jim Forsyth, he always started with new guests asking two questions, and that first question is, why is sound money important?
I think these last few years, it's become very obvious why it's important, at least to most people. And you don't even need to really be into gold and silver to see what's happening. I mean, the erosion of the value of our dollar is enormous. These last few years, as I've said, have shown them. I mean, there are certain items that have come back down into the realm of, normalcy, like gasoline. But when's the last time you went to the grocery store with $100 bill and then looked in the bag and saw how little you've gotten? It's pretty insane, and it just doesn't go there. Rent prices are up, home prices are up. Energy prices are sky high. In fact, even in Missouri, where we have historically low, energy prices, we're expecting a 10% increase in just energy prices next year. And a lot of this comes, from the fact that our dollar and our government has done a very poor job of managing the value of our dollar, printing money into oblivion. I think we're over $38 trillion in debt now.
Mhm.
That's from the creation of what we call not sound money, or the fiat dollar. And when there's more of something, it becomes less valuable, right? Well, the government's done a really good job of creating more and more and more dollars out of thin air, and as a result, the value of the US dollar has plummeted, and we see that in the cost of everything today. And there's a reason so many people are hurting, and that's because we don't have sound money.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Missouri. That is that where you're from, Missouri?
Yes.
We helped pass with the Missouri Freedom Initiative the best sound money legislation on the planet, the Constitutional Money Act. Everything, whether it has 1% gold and silver or not, round bar, hand poured, stamps or not, is legal tender in your state.
I know. I wish it would have went that way in Florida.
I know, dude. Trust me. We're fighting. We're trying to change it and make everything legal tender. But we work very hard in Missouri with the Missouri Freedom Initiative with Patrick Holland to get that done. And let me tell you, Senator Mike Moon and Representative Hardwick, they pushed so hard and they were able to get it done. They added, get this, it passed. I don't know if you know the details, but this Constitutional Money Act was added as an amendment to a banking bill. So it
Didn't know
was
that. Yeah.
it's yeah, no, it's beautiful. It was a bill that the leadership, the governor, everybody wanted, but and we were able to get it in and make it law. So we're really proud of being able to make all gold and silver legal tender. And in Missouri, it's the only state in the country that forces the government to take digital gold and silver for the payment of taxes and debts. So no other state takes gold and silver for taxes and debts. It's optional, or they don't do it at all. So Missouri is hands down the best state. So before we go any further, tell the audience, we know who you are, and I'm sure a lot of our audience does, but we're getting a lot of new viewers. Tell people about your background. That's the second question. And how did you become Silver Seeker?
How I became Silver Seeker was by chance. I've actually been doing stuff on YouTube since basically it launched. I had a gaming channel way back in the day. But when I was growing up, my father was a coin collector and a stacker himself, and so I was always around it. And like any other person, when they're growing up, they become an adult, they go off and they do their own thing. So I kind of moved away from it. And my dad would always tell me, as I'm spending money on this and that, stuff I don't need, like video games and whatever. He's like, you should really buy some silver and put it away. And keep in mind, this is when silver was a few dollars an ounce. So I wish I would have listened to him a little bit more closely, back then. But I didn't wait very long. It didn't take long until I'm like, you know what, my dad's right. And so over 20 years ago now, I officially became what I call a stacker. And that's because of his influence, him telling me, "It's like, hey, why are you doing this? Why don't you just buy some silver and put it aside?" I'm really glad I'm did, obviously, because it's I guess the reason I'm glad I did isn't necessarily because, gold and silver have, made me rich per se, but it's done a really good job of protecting, the value of what I have. And if you think about this, if you go back 20 years and look at, now I kind of hinted at it when I talked about why is sound money important. If you go back and look at 20 years ago, what everything cost today, and then you look at, and then you look at what it costs today, and then you compare that to the price of silver today, it's silver has went up in value, sure, but it's not that silver was worth $4 an ounce and today it's worth 50. It's that it now just takes $50 to buy that ounce of silver instead of four. And what that means is that those $50 just buy you less than it did back then. And that's in everything: gasoline, energy, like I said, groceries, rent, whatever it is. So I'm really glad he did that. Now, as far as my channel, in 2017, I created a YouTube channel and I named it Silver Seeker. And I did a couple of videos. It wasn't a whole lot. I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. My first YouTube channel back right as YouTube was, even becoming a thing, was around video gaming. And I didn't really think much about it. And then I had done one video. There was this thing. I don't know if viral is the right term, but there was, this thing that was semi-viral on the internet about how you could find this quarter worth like, $25,000 if you really had it. I don't remember what year it was, but it was a quarter that was struck onto a Canadian quarter planchet, or maybe a Canadian quarter, like struck onto an already made Canadian quarter. And, the shops around me were all getting their phones were ringing off of the hook, like about people like, I think I have this quarter. I think I have this quarter. Well, they didn't, because in reality, only one of them was struck and it was found inside of a proof set. So nobody had that quarter. And so I made a video titled "Why You Don't Have This Quarter." And that's, and that was just one of the few videos I made on the channel. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I think 5 or 6 months later, I just, on a whim, I'm like, oh, I should look in and see if any of those videos got views. And one of them had like, I don't know, 30, I don't remember, but we'll just say 25, 30,000 views. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can do more videos on this channel and see what happens. And, fast forward to 2025, and here I am, Silver Seeker.
Wow. And what year did so when did you do that video, and when did you go back?
I want to say it was 2017, and I want to say I went back 2018, and I can actually confirm that for you while you ask the next question.
Okay, sounds good.
So,
yeah. So,
sorry.
I know it's cool. It just out of curiosity, I was wondering when the Silver Seeker was born, which I think if it's 2018, then it's 2018.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we have a few questions for you, and we want to make this more of an evergreen episode so that our audience and anybody else can come back and watch, like how the questions that I asked earlier. And the first one is, how do you find the best price of gold and silver?
I mean, if you're talking about price as in physical, like if you were to actually go and physically buy gold and silver, is that what you mean?
Well, I'm sorry, I said best. I meant, how do you find the price of gold and silver?
Oh,
I'm
the
thinking the
price.
next question.
Sure. There's like a gazillion different ways. If you have a phone, you can find the price of gold and silver easily. Most people download the Kitco app. So there's the website right there. I know you had that queued up, and we talked about it before the stream. I knew Kitco is one of the ones. We're like, yeah, Kitco. Everyone uses Kitco, but there's an app you can download on your phone, so you don't even have to pull up the website, and you can even put a widget on the screen, so it just refreshes automatically, and you can see the price of gold and silver without even opening an app. But any bullion website is going to have a spot price ticker on it. Now, some of the comments I get from people on my channel is like, every spot price is different, and that's correct. It's almost all of them aren't exactly the same. Some of them are higher, some of them are lower. And a lot of it has to do with just the way that they calculate the spot price. In fact, there's a website, and I can't think of the name of it right now, so I apologize. We're doing this, not live, but I didn't script any of this, where they have like 6 or 7 different spot price tickers, and they're all different from each other a little bit. And it's just the way it's calculated. So I think the reason people typically lean towards Kitco is because it's generally it's the lowest on average from all of them. So I think that's why people do that. But any bullion website is going to have, it doesn't matter what it is. They're all going to have a spot price ticker on their website, and they'll all be really close to each other. It's not going to be like you're not going to go to, one bullion dealer and see 45, and then the next one's going to have 50, right? They're all going to be within cents, of each other.
Yeah, and I like using Kitco because it is like the foundation. And what other websites and bullion dealers do is they buy an API, they make their own ticker, and then they pad it from Kitco. So or wherever their source is. So they usually add like 10, 20 cents or maybe 50 cents on top, or a few dollars, depending. So Kitco is kind of like what I like telling people. That's like the base, and that's where you kind of base your buy and sell price off of. They might use a different website. I know some people use JM Bullion as bullion dealers for their pricing because it is on the higher side of the prices. But I'm like, no, try to get them to use Kitco, because, well, I think that's just the fairest price. It's what the industry, from all the coin shows I've gone to, all the bullion dealers I've talked to, Kitco is what they use when they're quoting at the time.
Yeah, and that's correct. Most coin shops look at Kitco, so you're 100% right about that. I don't know if it's accurate that bullion dealers, and I'm not speaking for any one of them specifically, so I'm not going to name names, but I don't know if it's 100% accurate that they're intentionally padding numbers over Kitco. It's just, the different way of calculating, spot price. So, but
Right.
either way, Kitco is, and I agree with you 100%. Sorry, Kitco is the source for, like 99% of people for sure.
Yeah, like Money Metals Exchange does that. They pull all the prices and they average it out. But I
Right.
I know personally, because I've talked to the bullion dealers, they actually have their own price and they add a little bit on top. So it's not all bullion dealers. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
no,
they're
no,
all.
I wasn't
Yeah.
saying that they don't have their own price and then they add a little bit. I'm saying I don't know if they intentionally add it over Kitco specifically, is what I'm saying.
Oh, right, right.
Right.
Well, it depends. I know because Kiko doesn't have an API, so they just have their own pricing, and you're right. That might be accurate to say, because
Yeah.
you have to pull it from a different source, and Kiko doesn't provide an API for the pricing. So.
Yeah. I wonder if Kitco ever provided an API if everyone would jump on it.
Yeah, they used to be able to scrape the Kitco, but they put security features. You can't scrape the Kitco price anymore, and they have like warnings like, "Don't use it. This is our proprietary pricing." So I think if they did provide an API, that would be a business model for them. That would be a revenue stream, because I'd use it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
So the next question, now that people know how to find the price of bullion, um, let me see. What's the next question? I have these questions out of order. Where is the best? Where are the best places to buy gold and silver?
It depends on where you are. If you're in an area that has, a bunch of coin shops in like a small area, that's usually really good because they compete with each other. And on my channel, I do this series where I actually call coin shops all over the country. I don't reveal their names. I actually mask their voice. People always make fun of me because they all sound like chipmunks, but that's
Yeah.
on purpose. Because my intent when I do these videos is not to call any coin shops out. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just trying to get people the information that they need to help them make the right decisions. But what I've noticed is metropolitan areas where there's a lot of shops close to each other usually are a little bit better priced than, say, a rural area that doesn't have a shop anywhere within hundreds of miles of them.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is twofold. I think the first one is that the tighter metropolitan areas have more people, so they have more business, and because you have more business, you can work on tighter margins. Whereas the rural areas probably don't have as much business, so to cover their overhead, that would be your rent, your payroll, so on and so forth. To cover all of that overhead, they need to make a little bit more per transaction. So that's specifically why I'm not calling out shops. I don't know the story behind each shop and why they charge or they pay the way that they do. But the best thing I think anybody can do as far as, just going out and buying silver and gold is to go to multiple places, use online bullion dealers. There's a bunch of big ones we could run off a list. You have SD Bullion, you have ATMEX, you have Money Metals, you have Hero Bullion, you have Bold Precious Metals, you have there's a new one that's I can't think of the name for a second. I just looked at it the other day, but there's a number of them out there. And so you can compare prices with all of those, and then go into your local shop and compare with them as well. Fine bullion prices you just put on the screen is another place that that does that as well. They actually look at the online bullion dealers to compare. One thing I've noticed about fine bullion prices is every once in a while it seems like there's like a bullion dealer or two that isn't listed, and I'm not saying it's on purpose. Maybe it's just the way the site operates. But I have noticed in the past where like I'm looking for buffalo rounds and they'll have like 8 different dealers, but they don't have the dealer I was just looking at. So,
Yeah.
but it is a good place to go and quickly compare, a lot of different bullion dealers on certain items. So, for example, what are you pulling up here? Eagles. Yeah, you can look at random year Eagles and then pull it up, and then what it's going to do is show you what the prices are of a bunch of different online bullion dealers.
I always ignore the eBay one, but I go to the bullion deal. eBay always because it's not live pricing. So I mean it's good, but when I'm looking for bullion prices, I skip eBay because they probably don't update their price regularly.
So I think that based on what I've seen, that there are some of the big dealers that sell on eBay that do have live pricing. I don't know how that works,
Hmm.
but I have noticed prices adjusting automatically on eBay with some of the big guys. I mean, we're talking like
Oh,
bullion exchanges, where it's literally different, from hour to hour. I mean, maybe they have somebody who that is their job, is to sit in front of the computer, but that doesn't cover off hours either, right?
right.
Yeah.
And,
So
and you know what I like about findbullionprices.com is it shows you what the premium is in dollar terms and also in percentage terms. So you can actually quickly figure that out. Let me see. Where is I didn't and the gold price over here, gold coins, 1 ounce gold eagle random. It tells you what the average. So you're looking at about $103 at 2.4%, and this gives you an idea of how much over spot. I love fine bullion prices, but
yeah.
on the uh-huh. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree. It's a good website. Just remember, one thing it doesn't show you is local dealers. So
Right,
use
and
that.
that this is only online dealers. Local
Right.
dealers can almost always, not always, but almost a lot of the times beat online prices, if they're willing. I mean, most of the dealers I talk to are willing to match or get close to online prices. At least the online price gives you an idea of what people are doing. And then I just want to plug our aggregator. So Metal Markup, we have our own bullion aggregator that takes in bullion dealers that are not on fine bullion prices, which shows you the cheapest prices. So what we do is our late founder Jim Forsyth actually bought metalmarkup.com from the guy who developed it because he couldn't run it anymore. He was sick, and we decided to make this an exclusive benefit for our members at Citizens for Sound Money. You see, I'm a Pioneer member. That's a $100 membership. You can also get it at the $25 membership, and we do a U.S. gold, U.S. silver, uh, Canadian silver, and Canadian gold dealers, and it shows you the cheapest prices, right? And premium. So the way it works, if you want to do, let's say, maples, right? You just type. Well, let me not there maples. It shows you what the maple prices are. If you want to do a 1/10 ounce, it pulls up the 1/10 ounce. So it's a very great tool for our members, and it usually beats. I always try to compare fine bullion prices to our metal markup, and I would say 9 to 8 times out of 10, our metal markup has better prices than fine
Cool.
bullion.com.
Yeah, I have to check it out. I'll be honest. Until today, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, it's we haven't been promoting it a lot because we launched our membership and I was a one-man show. Now we have employees, and now that we have employees doing the administrative stuff in our media, we're now pushing our membership and highlighting the metal markup. But it's a great tool for people who want to support the Sound Money movement, our organization, and get access to probably the best bullion aggregator on the market right now.
Right.
So the next question that people might say, "Hey, that's great. I know where to find the gold price. I know where to find the comparable prices for the retail market. Now, how do I know if it's real silver? Like, how do we test whether gold and silver is real? Because there's a major problem right now where they're making fake everything. Before we start recording, you're like, yeah, they even make fake dimes, right? Like,
Yep.
what are the methods, the best ways that you think are viable for people on low to no budget, and then those who have a budget that want to be more secure in knowing?
So no budget. If you have a phone, you can learn how to use the ping test. There are a number of different ping test apps that you can download. But the one that you just pulled up here, which is coinpingtest.com, they actually have an app that you can download on your phone. Now, the free version of it only unlocks a couple of things. I think it's like buffaloes and
Yeah.
a couple of other items that you can test. But there is a paid version that unlocks basically everything that's on the app. So 1 ounce gold eagles, Morgans, peace dollars, type 1 and type 2 silver eagles, so on and so forth. Basically everything you can think of that you can test with the ping test. But the reason that the ping test works, and before they say this, I just want to make it clear to people that The $35 buy it now includes what I have in my hand here, which is a pocket pinger, which makes it easier to hold. But you do not have to have this. Like, this thing is not required. You can, like, I have a P stellar right here. You know, I could balance it on my thumb and then just like tap it with a big pen. I promise I didn't do that on purpose. That looked like one of those commercials where, you know, they're trying to flip the pancakes and they don't know how and they go everywhere. But anyway, you know, you can put it in here and it holds it, you know, securely, so that you can easily ping test it without having to worry about dropping it or balancing it. But you do not have to have this. This is not required. You can do that for free by just balancing it, hitting it with something, and listening to the sound. But the apps that you download, so I'll just kind of give you an example, and we don't really have it set up today, but there's an update for it. We'll show you later. But, you know, this is the app on my phone, right? And I can pick, I'm on a green screen, so it's keying some of these out, but I can actually, you know, pick all different types of items. And what the phone does is it actually listens to the sound to make sure it sounds the way that it does. And the reason that this works is that, you know, let's say we have a silver eagle, for example. And this, by the way, is a fake silver eagle. Ironically, before we started this interview, I am working on a video showing off a bunch of fakes that a coin dealer sent me on purpose, purpose, so I can make a video with him. He didn't like sell me fake silver, but this is a fake silver eagle. Now, this silver eagle right here, it is possible to get it to sound the exact same as a real silver eagle. But the issue is that if that's going to happen, it is going to either have a different diameter, a different thickness, or a different weight. You cannot replicate the sound of a silver coin, a pure silver coin, without it also being the exact thickness, diameter, and weight, because if any of those are different, it's going to cause the sound to be different. And so what the apps do is it listens for like 4 different resonance frequencies for like a silver eagle. And if it hears all 4 of those, it's like, all right, I hear all 4 of them. It must be a real silver eagle unless, you know, there's something else wrong with it. And so you can get like a calipers and test the diameter and the thickness of the coin, and you can throw it on a scale and weigh it. As long as it weighs right, the diameter is correct, the thickness is correct, and the sound's correct, you can be 99.99% sure. I never want to say 100% because, you know, liability issues, but you can be really darn sure that it's most likely a real silver eagle. The only issue, I guess, would be if someone made a fake silver eagle with pure silver, like let's say it's a key date, I guess that's possible. But if it's a common date silver eagle or a buffalo round, what's the point of making a fake buffalo round with real silver, right? Doesn't make sense. There's no collector's value to it. So that's why the ping test is so good. So I recommend the ping test for coins. It's not very good for bars. It's doable, but not very good for bars, like 1 ounces. And it's nearly impossible to use for big bars. It's impossible to use for slabbed coins. It's impossible to use for, you know, like gold bars that are in an assay card. You can't exactly take them out of the assay card to ping it. So it's not perfect, but it is a cheap way to test the most common bullion coins, which is like eagles, buffalo, so on and so forth.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted, another app. It's not just that app. There's another app that that at least on the iPhone. It's called the Precious Coin Test. Let me zoom in on mine. The Precious Coin Test right there. And then if you click on it, it's the same. You get a certain amount for free, but the layout's slightly different. Let me click all and all. There we go. It has over 41,000 coins on the list, and you can pick different regions, the year, the parameters. And like if I chose North America, for example, or just North America, okay, and then silver, I type in silver eagle. It shows you all the different silver eagles. The ones with the check mark are verified and will give you 3 stars. Anything custom, because people can put custom tests in there, it will only give you 2 stars. So it's the same technology, and I think they're partnered with the Ping Test app and Ping Test little tool. They work together, because I did a test of a war nickel, and it gave me a false positive with a regular nickel. And I communicated with them, and they fixed it, right? And they kind of work hand in hand. But you mentioned also for testing that you need to weigh it, right? And you also need to measure it. So that now costs money. So you can download the app for free, balance it on your finger. But if you want to spend a little bit of money, I recommend this. This is what I use because I had other scales, but they would stop working because I bang it around in my pocket. This is like military grade plastic, and it comes with a 50-gram scale, so you can tear it properly and make sure it's weighing. But this is my personal favorite scale. It's $21.99. And then you also said measuring it. I actually bought this $6.98 to measure the diameter. It's a digital. Do you have
That's
that same
funny.
one?
I have the exact same one. I wish it was in front of me.
I use the same one.
Yeah.
And then another test, which you didn't really
Oh, you
bring
know what?
up.
Maybe it's not. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. Maybe that's not. I looked at the back of it. Maybe it's not. But anyway, it looks they're close. But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, and it's $6.98. So now you're looking at just about, $28. And then magnets. Now, you didn't touch on that, but silver and gold are not magnetic. And
Well, silver is diamagnetic, and so just so you don't get confused, that means that it is affected by magnetism, but it won't stick.
right.
Actually, if you want to zoom in on me, I'll show you what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. I'll do that right now.
So just so you guys know, this is not what he was showing. This is a big fishing magnet. This is a huge neodymium magnet in the center here. And with silver, so this is a real Morgan silver dollar right here. It's very circulated, so don't get on me for like ruining it. It's heavily circulated already. But if you'll notice, if we hold it at an angle, I can't talk. If you hold it at an angle, and I'm trying to like get it to where it's not glaring here, you'll see it slides really slow. You see how it even kind of caught there at the bottom?
Yeah.
And that's because silver is affected by magnetism, but it's not actually like it's not magnetic. And let me see if I have another. Yeah, no, not that one. Hold on.
Nope, not that
one. Well, one of the issues is that copper is also diamagnetic. And so I'm trying to find one of these. I just messed up my whole display over here. All right, here we go. So here's a fake peace dollar that's not made of copper. I don't know what this one is made of, but this is a fake peace dollar. Now watch what happens when I drop it. It just didn't even react. It's like nothing was there. When I do it with the Morgan.
Yeah.
It just kind of slid. There we go. It's kind of slid around the center. Here's a peace dollar, a real one. Yeah, and then you do it with this, and it's just nothing. Yeah. So silver is affected by magnetism. It's just not going to actually stick to the magnet. Kind of like, this coin right here. I'm sorry, you keep zooming in on me. Here,
go ahead.
Look at this peace dollar right here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Should not do that. It should not do that.
No, it should not do that.
If you hover that over a pile of coins, that's what I like doing when I like buy. Sometimes I do estate buys. I just take a magnet and hover it over the thing, and if it sticks, I just pull it out and give it to the guy. I'm like, no, that's not real. That's not real. I've done that a few times with piles of silver.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, I have all those out. It's just coincidence that we're doing this interview today. I just opened the package. A dealer that's a friend of mine sent me like 30 fake coins. He even sent me this fake 1 ounce gold bar that's in a Pamp Swiss, by the way. This is in a Pamp. I tell you what, since we're having fun here, hopefully people are still watching. They're like, oh, I'm already bored with this guy. Watch this. So let's go to my ZV-1 camera here. So here's my desk that I was using to record the video. Yeah. I'm going to move my mic a bit. So he sent me this thing, and look at it. It looks good. It has a serial number on the back, and if you look at the holder, it's not even like separated. Like, how do you can't test that with a ping test? That's what I was kind of talking. My fingers are crusty here. Figures. I never put my fingers on camera. But anyway, you can't test that with a ping test, and it looks really good. It's in an assay card. It has a serial number. So if you go into a coin shop and a coin shop sells this to you, and keep in mind, I'm not saying coin shops would do that intentionally, but let's say they have this in their inventory, they don't even know it. What are you going to do to test that, right? Yeah. So anyway, these are all fakes right here, by the way.
No, the fakes are getting really good, And
they're getting incredibly good. That is for sure.
Yeah, and so that brings me to the next thing, right? Because with a carded coin or round or bar, you can't weigh it. I mean, you use the magnet test. You can't really do the diameter because it's in plastic. You might be able to, right? And you can't ping it. So what's the answer? What's the solution for that?
Well, I mean, we already know. We're going to talk about this thing. And just so you guys know, I mean, I have no idea what Daniel is doing here. I don't know if he's sponsored or not sponsored by Sigma. I am not, I promise.
No, I'm
no
not
sponsorship whatsoever. We are really, I mean, at least me, and you said you're not either, right?
Yeah,
So
no, I'm not either.
we're legitimately just showing you these guys because we believe in them. Like, I paid for this with my own money.
Yeah,
This
me
was
too.
not sent to me by the company. It wasn't like, oh, if you show this in a video every once in a while, I'll give it to you for free. I had to pay for this outright. But
Yeah,
this is my PMV Pro Mini, and
and this
these
is mine.
are these are awesome. Now, unfortunately, they no longer make this model.
No.
They replaced it with the what I don't know what they call the new one.
Well, they replace it with this. I mean, they don't make a small one anymore.
No, they do. They replaced the Pro Mini with like a Pro Lite or something. Pro Investor, maybe. Click on Pro Investor. I think that PMV Investor.
Investor.
Yeah, I think that's what they replaced it with.
This right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay,
So that is basically the new PMV Pro Mini.
gotcha.
I think the reason they did that is because with these, like I have a tablet here, like you actually have to connect them to your tablet or to a phone
I do it to
to
my phone.
use them. Right. I have a tablet. But what I really like about the Mini, and I kind of wish they still made it, is because on the screen, you can actually, it even gives you this little coin right here. And you can
Yeah.
use this coin to calibrate your screen so that you can use diameter testing as well. And what it does is on top of it testing all the way through the coin. So for our bar, so for example, like this bar right here, if I press it down like this, it actually can test all the way through the bar,
Yep.
which is actually better than an XRF gun because XRF guns only do surface testing. So if this is plated with gold, but it's tungsten or whatever in the center, it's going to let you know that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
And it also goes through PCGS and NGC holders. Like, and that's why
Yes.
I bought mine, right? Because on the side, I buy and sell. I have a bullion business I recently started officially, but I was buying and selling. And last year, I had the pink test. I knew how to test everything outside of this because at the time I didn't find it that I needed a Sigma because I had all these other methods. So I bought a gold coin. It was an Australian ounce, the dragon, the year of the dragon, with the Queen Elizabeth. And I looked up the PCGS number. It didn't have a picture, so I'm like, okay,
Right.
but I know a PCGS holder. I bought plenty of PCGS holders. The coin looked good. I looked up the coin online, so I sent it to a wholesaler. And I paid him $2,600 for the gold ounce. $2,600 is back then it was a lot, but I wish it was $2,600.
I mean, listen, I'll back the truck up at 2,600 right now.
Oh,
so.
you and me both, man. And then the wholesaler cut it open and sent it back. It was fake. I lost $600. If I would have forked out, I bought this from another coin dealer in Florida, in St. Augustine. It's called the Vault Company.
Yeah.
They were selling this on eBay, and I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, I'm in Florida. Can I come by and save some costs at $1,400? And I bought this for $1,400 used. And if I would have spent the $1,400 or even $1,700, I would have saved myself over $1,000 or $900 by detecting a fake coin with the Sigma. So if you're really if you don't have the money to buy a gold ounce or graded coins, do everything we discussed, right? Ping test, you'll catch most things with the cheaper options. But once you get into graded, man, even the graded coins, the paper, the PCGS hologram, they're making amazing fakes coming out of China, or even here in the United States. If you're going to start buying a lot of gold and silver, if you're starting to buy a lot of gold and silver, you want to invest in a Sigma Metalytics. If you can find a pro, a reason I like this is I travel so much. So I can put it in my bag. I can just travel with it, the coin shows. The thing with the investor and the new pro, it's just so bulky, right? And
yeah, they're bigger.
They're bigger.
I tell you what, this wasn't planned, but if you'd like, I can actually show you it on the screen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So let me switch back over to this other camera here. Okay. So I actually have the app open and I have all this, man. People are, when I cut to the next part of the video I'm working on, people are going to be like, why did everything move? Anyway, so we have it up here. And so what I can do here is I can go to metals and we're already on gold. So we're going to go to gold pure because we're going to test this bar. And you can actually put in the weight. So it matters because if you're going to do dimensions testing, it needs to know the weight so it can use the thickness. Unfortunately for this thing, it's not really going to matter. But you could actually put in the weight, and we know it's exactly 1 ounce troy. And then what we can do is just slide it here under this. And if we press the lever down, you'll see it says weight. And you'll see how the blue arrow is all the way off of the screen, all the way over here. So if it were real, it would be somewhere in the middle of the screen.
Or
What's
even
that?
the yellow, even within the yellow, it's
Even
I was yeah.
You're right. Even within the yellow, although one thing I'll tell you is that I have noticed that on gold, I've never actually had a real gold coin that was in the yellow.
Okay. I tested. Well, it depends. I tested yesterday a 1/10 ounce kangaroo, but it was in a plastic, and
Right.
because it was so thick, it was on the edge of yellow and green. But
Well,
you're right.
I tell you what, I have this out. Let me show you this.
Okay,
So
let's do that.
yeah, this is a real gold eagle. Gold eagles are not pure gold. If you guys don't know that, they're actually 91.67% gold. So we
22
actually
karat.
have to go back to metals gold, and then there should be a gold eagle right here. Okay. So watch this. Even in the case, now if we press it down, of course it doesn't want to work for me.
It does that from
Oh, you
time
know
to
what? It's probably because this is so thick. I have another. I wonder. Man, these new
time.
holders.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so we're proving to you right now. So it doesn't press all the way down because the edge of the thing here. The case is so thick. There we
There it
go.
is.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I'm not damaging my device here. So what it is on these newer NGC holders, see the edges are so thick that
Yeah.
it's actually getting the bar stopping here. But I'm pressing it down really hard, so I hope I'm not damaging my device. But as you can see, it is testing through the gold bar or through the slab, and it is right in the green where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why I got it, because of slabs. Does the wand go through slabs, or is it?
You know what? I don't know, but I know the wand only tests so deep. I can try it. I have it here with me.
Yeah, let's try it, because for those
Probably need this one here. Yeah.
yeah. For those who don't know, when you buy a Sigma Metalytics, it also comes with adapters, wand adapters, so you can test bars, or items that don't fit within the little arm or whatever that's called, detector.
Exactly. Unfortunately, it doesn't always go all the way through the coin, but it does do a good job of testing. I still think even just the wand tests deeper than an XRF gun. But we have our wand hooked up, and so it plugs into the back of it here like that. And this is like, I have a bigger one than this this one's for like big bars, but this one I think is the right one for coins. And if we put it on there,
there you go.
Yeah, so it will test, and you can see it says wand in use. So it will test through the case here. But I wish I had a PCGS to show you. NGC recently came out with their the new version of the slab, and you can see there's a whole lip of plastic here.
Yeah.
And so what it's doing is I can't press because this lip is stopping the bar from going all the way down onto the top of the coin.
Gotcha.
So
but
that's
now you know you can use the wand.
Yeah, now I know I can use the wand. But yeah.
Silver. Grab a coin and then do the dimensions test.
Because, sure.
Yeah, so to show how that works with the Sigma on at least this version, but it's similar to the big versions. They just put it on their screen.
Yeah, absolutely. So here is a piece dollar. This is a real one. Again, I apologize that my fingers are all. I had to replace a battery in my son's car yesterday, and I tore myself up. Anyway, we'll go to metals, and we are doing a 90% silver coin. This is a 1923 piece dollar, so we're going to do silver 90% coins, 1900 to 1945. Now, the weight, if you don't know, of a silver dollar is not an ounce. So we're actually going to go to grams, and we're going to. So sorry about that. Weight, and we're going to 26.7. Yeah, my typing is good too. You can tell this is not.
This is not.
Yeah, 26.7 grams. And what you can actually do is just, this one's a little bit worn. So what we can do is actually weigh it and make sure that our weight's correct because it is a little worn. 26.9.
Yeah, there you go.
26.8. Man, I thought it'd be 26.7 with all the wear. But all right, 26.8. Here we go. Man, dude, this is not.
It's cool. Hey, people like this stuff, man. People like this stuff.
Oh, good. Well, so anyway, we got 26.8 grams. So we will hit grams. And then that is total weight, not precious metals weight, because there's 0.7734 ounces of silver in these, but that's 90%. So the total weight, anyway, whatever. We're getting too technical here. We know the weight. We know we're on silver. So what it's going to do is, based on the purity of the metal, the weight that we said it is, if we press the lever down. Oh, I have the wand plugged in still. Hold on. Let's remove the wand. I may have to reset it. All right, I'm going to reset my device. Hold on one second.
Yeah, it does that. That's the one thing I find. It's fidgety, and if you have a VPN, it won't work. For those who have the Mini Pro, you want to make sure you turn the VPN off and that you reset the wand, connect the. Let me actually do this.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about these is that if you plug in a wand, you have to basically reset the device completely to like if you're gonna like use it without the wand again, and you can't just unplug it.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah, these things aren't perfect, but they're really good at what they do. Okay, all right, so here we go. So we have 26.8 grams. We have our peace dollar. We're gonna press it down. And so you can see the peace dollar is coming off into the yellow a little bit, which is fine. But one thing we can do is we go to dimensions testing, and it's a round because it's it's a coin. And we can put the coin on the screen here, and I'll kind of get it close to the camera. And what you can see is if we line it up with the line on the right, it should be within the green on the left. And you can see that our coin right there on the line is right there. Right. So just to give you an example, let's do this. So I have one of these fake silver eagles right here. All right, now watch this. And Daniel, this is one of the worst silver eagles fakes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's one of the worst.
But
I would never.
We know it. We know it's exactly. Oh no, we need to go to weight. It is. And I see this is not practiced.
Yeah,
1 ounce total weight, and we need to go to metals, silver pure, or silver pure. No, it's an eagle. Metals. No, yeah, it's right. Metals, silver pure, and then weight 1 ounce total weight. All right, cool. We got it. Now watch this. So we're gonna put this down here. We're gonna test it. It's gonna be way off. Yeah, it's way in the red. Right. But now watch if we go to dimensions testing. Look at this. We'll go to round. See how small that box is?
That's what it's saying it should be in.
Yeah, and look where the coin is.
Yeah, it's not real.
And you want to know why that is? Look at the rim of this thing.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of the worst silver eagles I have ever held in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Like it looks like when they whoever made their fakes, when they measured the eagle, they measured it inside of a capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is what it is inside of a capsule. That's the thickness. And I have another fake eagle here that's is correct as far as You see the difference there in thickness? Yeah, it's wild. So anyway, all right, we'll get off of that. That wasn't rehearsed at all, and you can clearly see that.
It was on the. It's like a live broadcast. We're just recording it.
Right. Yeah.
No, I like that model. It makes it real. People enjoy the little hiccups and everything. So
right.
All right, awesome. So the last question, we learned about price. We learned about where to find retail prices and buy local coin shops, online, bullion, and so forth. We learned how to test through the free method and the most expensive method. Well, the most expensive is an RXF gun or an actual desktop version, but that's like $35,000. We're not going to get into that. I don't have it. You don't have it, but you can.
Well, the problem, and I know we're trying to move on, but I'll say the problem with XRF guns is, I hinted at this already, is that they only surface test. Yeah. So if you have something filled, XRF gun is not the right way to go. XRF guns are fantastic for bullion dealers that buy, like, let's say they buy a bunch of scrap 14 karat jewelry. Yeah. And 10 karat jewelry. And what they can do is they can melt it all together, pour it, and then they just test the service and they're like, oh, it's 12.3 carats. And they know exactly because they melted it and poured it. But as far as testing into a coin, they're not actually really good for that. The Sigma is actually better.
Yeah, 100%.
So sorry about that.
No worries. No, good. And then the last question that we want people to know is like, all right, I bought this gold. I know how to tell if it's real. Now I have it in inventory, but I need some cash because we live in a fiat world. Not everybody takes gold and silver for payments of goods and services. Right. So the next question is, where are the best places to sell gold and silver? Seeker?
So the best way to sell gold and silver is, as far as getting the most for your money, is always going to be on your own. Like, that is hands down. But not everyone's able to do that. Not everyone's comfortable doing that. Meeting some stranger in a dimly lit parking lot at midnight is probably not the right way to go. But you're going to get the most for your money because you're selling to another stacker who is looking to save a little bit of money over going to a coin shop. But at the same time, they're not expecting you to sell it to them for what maybe a bullion dealer is going to pay. Right. Outside of that, if you just want to sell it somewhere where you'll walk in, give it to them, sign a piece of paper, and walk out with the cash or the check, local bullion dealers are really good for that. Most coin dealers are honest. Not all of them. I'm going to be honest with you. There are some that are, if they if they see an opportunity to take advantage of you, they will do so.
Yeah.
But most of them are really good. But what I would tell you is that if your plan is to sell your gold and silver to a bullion dealer, do one of two things. One, shop around, and two, and this is just my opinion, tell them that you are. Tell them I am shopping around. Because if you, at the end of the day, the bullion dealer, they want to make money. They want to buy your gold and silver because that's how they make money. And if they are fearful that if they give you a lowball offer that you're just going to walk, then they are less likely to give you a lowball offer. So if they know that you're just going to go somewhere else and shop with someone else and sell to the best place, they're more likely to offer you something fair.
Yeah.
At least that's how it's always been to me. But even with that, if you have the opportunity to, go into different shops, like let's say you live in one of those metropolitan areas I talked about earlier that has multiple shops, shop around, and then before you even take that final offer, compare it to what online bullion dealers will give you, because not all bullion dealers will tell you what they pay for things like on their website, but some do. A couple of them, Money Metals and SD Bullion, both actually advertise on their website what they pay for certain things. Other ones like APMEX, I don't believe they do. They make you call them first. So, at least do some research and see what the bullion dealers online are paying, and then you can know if you got at least a decent offer at your local coin shop as well. But yeah, the last place I would tell you to go, and by last place I would warn against them, is just don't go to pawn shops. Pawn shops don't care if there's another pawn shop 2 feet from them. They don't care if there's a bullion dealer 5 inches down the road from you. They are going to take it. The majority of them. I can't say all because obviously I can't speak for everybody, but in most cases, pawn shops are just going to buy it as cheap as they can buy it. And most pawn shops aren't bullion dealers. They pretend they're bullion dealers. They probably stack on the side, but they buy like they're a pawn shop. So
yeah, that's the worst place.
Yeah.
And then there is another option. You can sell. You mentioned that they SD Bullion and I forget the other company. Oh,
Money Metals.
Money Metals. They tell you the price. So that is another option, but there is risk involved because they're stolen packages. If you don't insure it, you will lose all your money. And a lot of insurance companies like pirate ships stop covering metals. There's a lot of companies that insurance don't cover bullion. So you can take that risk, but like Silver said, first and foremost, go on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp and sell it at like a retail price. You're gonna get your best bang for your buck. But like he said, you might be weird meeting random people. So what I do, because I sell on Marketplace and OfferUp, is I either meet at a local coffee shop where I know the owner, I know they have a security system, I trust that location, find a location that's public, or go to a police station, call the police station ahead of time, say, hey, I'm going to do a gold and silver deal off of Facebook Marketplace. Just want to let you know, if a cop can swing by or if you see it, and just do it in front of a police station, because there's the likelihood of them trying to steal from you at a location with security that you know personally, or a police station that you inform the police ahead of time that you're going to do a gold and silver deal in front of them. That's probably the safest way to do it. Don't meet in some sketchy area in town. If they make the location, you are the one selling it. You are the one that's at risk. You choose where you want to do that. That's the best bang for your buck. Then bullion dealers, shop around and tell them, like Silver Seeker, that's a great piece of advice, that you are shopping around because they're going to come up a little bit higher. And online too with SD Bullion, you can do that too if you trust and you have an insurance company and you're okay with that risk. And the last place, I agree. I was just on a radio show right before we did this interview, and I said the same thing. Last place you want to go to liquidate your metals is a pawn shop, because they will take advantage of you. They don't care. They're not a bullion dealer. They make money off of interest, off of pawn loans, and they might be stackers on the side. They're like, let me get the cheapest price for this metal as possible, right? So just pawn shop, stay away from. If you're really desperate and nobody else is nearby, then you can do a pawn shop, but that's like the last resort.
And even at a pawn shop, if you're going to use it, see what their rates are for just pawning it. Because if they only give you $20 an ounce, but you're able to buy it back later, for whatever their interest rate is, which is usually ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be better than selling it for 20 and then buying it back for 50. But I just personally, I would just avoid pawn shops completely. Like, that's just my opinion only. Just avoid pawn shops. Boy, there was something that you brought up that I wanted to mention. And shipping. So Yes, there is one way that you can insure packages with gold and silver via USPS, and that's through registered mail.
It's really expensive though.
Really expensive, but I mean, if you're sending off, $10,000 in gold and silver, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because with registered mail, it's the most secure way. They lock it in boxes and transport. They check. It is the most secure way to send any package, not just gold and silver, but registered mail with insurance. But I think the limit is 25,000 or something like that.
I don't know if that's the limit, but I know there is a limit. So, but I mean, if you're sending a few gold eagles off, I mean, it might be worth it. Just and the chances are, the chances of it actually going missing are slim to none. But you know how it is. It's kind of like the guy who finally wins the lottery and then dies in a plane crash the next day. You know what I mean? It's the odds are so slim.
Yeah.
But it's just why take the risk? And you're going to be nervous. You're going to be sick about it for days until it finally gets there too, right?
Right.
And I will tell you this: I've had packages. If you want a personal story, I sent off. This was years ago. I sent off a package of coins to be graded at NGC. And if you don't know, NGC is based in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm in Missouri, so I sent my package from NGC to Florida. You know where it went before it went to Florida?
Oh no,
Hawaii.
What?
Yeah, literally, I'm looking at the tracking, and they flew it all the way out to Hawaii, and then from Hawaii back to Florida.
That makes no sense.
It got misrouted. It was, put into the wrong bin, and they didn't realize it till it got to the distribution center in Hawaii, and then they're like, "Oh, okay," But
and there's freak accidents too. Like recently, the UPS airplane going to Hawaii blew up. All those packages, if they weren't insured, gone. So even freak accidents. So there's risk involved with shipping. Is the point?
Absolutely.
So that's why Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, whatever is the best option if you're doing it safe and secure. Then your local coin shop, online with that risk, and then the worst case scenario is a pawn shop. So well, Seeker, thank you so much, man. I think this is going to be a great video for people to continue to watch, learn how to find prices, figure out where to look for the best prices online, where to get tools, Amazon, Sigma Metalytics, Pocket Pinger, and where to sell it and how to test it, right? So is there anything else for the audience that you want to share before we wrap it up?
Not really. I just want to say I apologize about the fumbling with the Sigma on screen there, but it was all done live, so you can see that's the reality of how it works. Sometimes you have silly stuff like you have to reset it after you unplug the wand, and sometimes the case is so darn thick because of NGC's new cases you couldn't get it under there. But no, I mean, the best thing I can tell you to do is, and you asked me right at the beginning, Daniel, is why is sound money important? And just remember that, and what you can buy today for $100 is going to be way less than what you can buy for $100 10 years from now. And gold and silver being real money, being a finite resource. Granted, they can still mine more of it, but it's still a finite resource. There's only so much gold and silver on this planet, and it costs money to get what's still in the ground out of the ground. There's a reason that it's real money. Paper fiat currency, I mean, they don't even really need to go through the process of printing it anymore. They can just add a zero to a line in a computer at this point.
Yep, absolutely. And, for those who are watching, if you are not subscribed to Silver Seeker's page, YouTube channel, it's right there at Silver Seeker. He has 231,000 subscribers. Let's try to get him to 250,000. And he has lots and lots of content. So go ahead and support Silver Seeker. He provides a lot of great content about gold and silver. He talks to bullion dealers. He has so much content. You can spend weeks and weeks watching all his videos. It's a great channel for information. So yeah, absolutely. Silver, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I definitely love to have you on again. And I know you've had me on your channel. I'd love to give you some legislative updates and some other things that we're doing in the future.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. I look forward to it even.
Likewise. All right, brother. Have a good one, and we'll catch you soon.
You too. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys, there you have it. That is our episode 6 of Sound Money Matters with Silver Seeker, the one and only. You learned a lot of great information about how to find prices and exactly what you should do and what you shouldn't do and what you should be looking for when you're buying physical gold and silver. So before we wrap it up, I want to pitch Citizens for Sound Money. You can go to citizensforsoundmoney.org. and you can become a Sound Money Pioneer. You can become a member by going to Citizen Sound Money, become a pioneer. We have the $25 and $100. If you become a $100 Pioneer member, not only do you get access to the Meta Markup app, we will send you a ½ ounce of digital silver through Kinesis. We will email you instructions on how to do that, and that will be that's one benefit. And Metal Markup is another, and you will also get exclusive. We're expanding our benefits. You get exclusive content from us. Well, we have a Discord channel we'll give you access to. We'll do live AMAs with me and our team, and maybe even some special guests like Silver Seeker. If you want to get a tax write-off, you can go to Sound Money Movement. Let me get that up, soundmoneymovement.org. And at Sound Money Movement, we're a 501c3. Our purpose is to educate people on financial literacy and sound money principles. You can donate to one of our programs. We have our scholarships and grants. We have our TV show, which I mentioned to you before. We have a curriculum development for pre-K up to university level that we're trying to get that passed as well as a required course for schools to teach people on financial literacy, sound money principles. And we have the Sound Money Academy, which is an online resource to learn about financial literacy and sound money principles. And if you are on X, go ahead and follow us at YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Help us subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers first and eventually 2,000. We're doing 2 videos a week, live broadcast on Tuesdays, and the premiere like tonight on Fridays. And lastly, if you're on X, let's pull that up. I should have brought that up, but on X it's the same as YouTube. You can follow us on X at For Sound Money. Let me get that up on the page. Here we go. X For Sound Money. It's the same thing for YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on X. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being a faithful watcher, a member of the Sound Money Movement. We are the Sound Money Movement. You are part of the Sound Money Movement. We need to educate the world about real money and how to preserve your economic energy. So continue to support us. Please share this video. Follow Silver Seeker. Follow us, and you guys have a great weekend, and we will catch you again. God bless.